Well, it's Wednesday, October the 10th. We'll do a quick shop update here today. Look over the shaky camera. I'm gonna try to pan through here and show you guys the progress. Still working on the lighting. Not got that straightened out yet. I need to put some LED bulbs and all these fixtures and clean them up. But I've had a lot of progress in the past 2 days. As you can see right here in the middle, there was a work table right here in the front, and that's since been removed. And all the way down the middle, had a lot of hanging contraptions here on 2x4s that were used for rabbit cages, I believe. And I've removed all those with the chainsaw, and today I'm unbolting them from the top up there. And I did a little bit of pressure washing in here, not a whole lot. Just seeing how this stuff would come off with some water, and actually it comes off pretty good. All this rabbit hair kind of just washes right away when you put some water to it. But this morning I've been out here doing a little plumbing. I had a faucet down here on this far end that wasn't working anymore, so I'm capping that off today. And that still leaves me one good water hose source right there at the back. And that's plenty back here. I think he needed 2 of them for the rabbits. That's why he had 2 of them going. And right here in this middle bay area, we started about 9 o'clock this morning. Actually, the other guy started earlier than that. I come over here after I took Bruno to school. And we shoveled out this area between the concrete sidewalks. And this is, I think, 36 or 40 feet long and 80 inches wide. Of course, the dirt's piled up on the ends down there, and that's some really nice, rich dirt that's mostly just topsoil and rabbit manure. So I'll be taking all that and putting it in the garden at a later date when I get all this cleaned up. And you can see that wood down there. That's a lot of the stuff that was hanging here in the middle. But we dug this down this morning by hand about 4 inches, and it's ready to go for concrete. And what I'm going to do is we're going to be pouring this tomorrow, or they're going to be pouring it rather. So this is all going to be concrete here in the middle to match the sidewalks. And I'm going to go ahead, because it's just 2 more yards of concrete, and pour these side areas as well. Because as you can see, there's a footer right there connecting to the structure. So it will make for a real easy pour, they're thinking, right here between these two. And I might as well do it while I got them here. I don't want to regret later not having it done. And here's the other side we'll be pouring in as well. These are 40 feet long and 3 feet wide. And it looks like a total of about 7 yards of concrete tomorrow we'll be pouring in here. But that's going to give us a real nice work area here. Have a 20 by 40 covered area to work in with a concrete floor and lighting also. Another change I'm going to be doing, I got one of these doors propped up here on the side. Well, I wouldn't really call them doors, I guess the walls. As you can see, that raises up 4 feet up. I'm going to be taking those off and taking those middle supports out and putting me a beam or a header on the very top here for support. And my plan now has changed. I'm going to raise up these lights to the ceiling, and right here in front of the camera is where the sawmill is going to be. This is plenty enough area to operate the sawmill, and I'll be in the dry. I'll have good lighting in here and good ventilation with these sides open. And I'll be able to saw in here year round, late at night or early in the morning. It don't really matter. It's going to be really nice conditions here for the sawmill. I'd say the mill will take up half this area here, and this other area over here will be left for air drying lumber. I'm going to be removing these sides as well, these posts rather, so I can bring lumber in here on pallets for air drying. And I also set up my fans in here to be air drying them as well before they go into the kiln. So that's the plans tomorrow. Pouring 7 yards of concrete in here. And then I think 3 days after that is what they recommend, the concrete contractor says. He says wait about 3 days. And that'd give me enough time to get in here and pressure wash all this stuff out of here and get these wires out of here that are hanging from the ceiling. And get this place ready for the Wood-Mizer, because the sawmill's here just on the other side of that wall. I just have to bring it in here and park it, and we'll be good to go. Well, the rain has finally stopped. It's been raining all day. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. That's why they're gonna go ahead and pour that one tomorrow. Now we're having some more concrete done. I think I'm having 28 yards total poured. Over in front of the garage, we're having a large pad poured over there to pull into. Not the entire driveway, just right in front of the garage. And a lot of questions I had on my last videos whether or not I'm moving the kiln over here. Well, Yes, we are. We're going to bring the kiln over, probably on a flatbed, and put it right here. A friend of mine who's doing my excavating for me left me his case skid steer here for a few days. And I've been using that to clear out this area. And I'll stack some concrete block and get it ready for the pad. We'll be putting a 12 by 13 pad right here for the kiln. And I'll go ahead and insulate that pad also. And right here beside it is what was there before, and that was his compost pile for the garden back there behind the fence. There's some really rich dirt in there. I'll be saving that and taking it back to the garden and spreading it in those raised beds. So be prepared in a few months to have some sawmill garden videos. I had a large vegetable garden, had a small little mini farm I owned the next county over a few years ago. So this isn't new to me by no means, doing some gardening. But I might do a few videos as I rebuild these raised beds. I'll probably mill some red cedar to do some maintenance on these beds, but a lot of potential right here. Now over here's the Titan grapple that I showed in the last video. And I'm hoping here in a few days after this concrete work is done, I can get it out of that crate. That's actually a lot of angle iron. It's a really nice crate they put that in. I'm hoping to get this on the tractor in the next week and measure for the hydraulic hoses to run it off of. And also the ballast box, I got a lot of plans for it as well. One of the things I like best about this property, other than where it's at, is that the workstation up here where the sawmill is going to be, and the kiln, and the wood shop, and all my tools, has its own little fenced in area. It got a gate going into it. It's separate from the driveway going to the house. It's about a full, it's probably about a 3/4 of an acre total that's fenced in up here. And just gives it a different feel. It makes it look a lot neater being fenced off from the rest of the property, I think. So the Wood-Mizer is already here, awaiting its permanent placement. No more portable sawmilling for me. I think when I park this thing in this building, I think that's where it'll stay. So much area to work with here, there's no need to really take the sawmill out when I can just haul the logs in here. So I got that propped up, and that's gonna be coming off, that little side wall that he's got a hinge on. As you can see from the bottom, with those two supports out of the way, I'll be able to bring in 13-foot logs through that opening. Because 12 footers is about the longest I ever saw anyways. And this fence will be coming down also. That was part of the rabbit operation. And it's a pretty good flat area here leading up to the side of it for staging logs that will be rolled into the building to put on the sawmill. It looks like the rain is getting ready to set in again. It's about 1:30. I'm trying to get a lot of this electrical out of here, and I got the breaker cut off going to this one, and get the rest of these wooden frames out of the way, so tomorrow when they're doing the finish work on the concrete, they want to work around them.